The Hyphen 2 might not have the best sound quality or the best feature set, but somehow I take it with me more than the gazillion other earbuds that I'm testing. Something about it feels special and I want to tell you all about it. So let's get into it right now. Selamat pagi! Good morning everyone, Kenneth here and welcome to another review. And today we're checking out the Hyphen 2, a Swiss-made true was earbuds that you can get from Rolling Square's official website if you're not familiar with Indiegogo or Kickstarter. But yeah, don't forget to check out the links in the description because I have a $40 off discount code just for my beloved subscribers and you'll be supporting me as well by buying through those links. So thank you so much. And before we start, as usual, disclaimers are going to be down in the description below. If you want to see the unboxing, my first impression, all about the feature set of these things, you can check out my unboxing video. I'll link it in the pinned comment as well. And an important note before we start the video, this is a pre-production unit, so there might be some kinks that I will mention that may not be present on your final unit. And also I don't have the foam inserts to test their advanced passive noise cancellation or APNC. So a bit unfortunate there, but this is my current limitation. With that said, let's start with the most important aspect, the sound quality. Being a $90 earbud, I know you'd probably want this to be at least on par with the best out there, right? Like the Soundpeats H1 or the Feel T1 Pro. Well, in terms of pure sound quality, this doesn't compete with these two, but I do think it deserves its own place because I'm telling you right now, listening to just the Hyphen 2 is so much fun. This reminds me a lot about the Tranya M10, really prominent and powerful bass and the vocals are warm and subtle, but this is important, it doesn't have the bulk of those bass boosted earbuds. Anyway, let's start talking about some actual songs now. I'll put links to my review playlist in the description below if you want to listen for yourself. And let's start with a song from a legendary artist. In honor of them actually, we're comparing Digital Love by Daft Punk. Starting around 1 minute 40 seconds in, it is immediately noticeable that the bass kicks much stronger compared to Alien, the Sonic, the H1. This bass blows everything else. It is on par with the bass monster that I just reviewed, the Tranya M10. You just gotta listen for yourself, especially when the guitar goes down low around the 4-minute mark. You can really feel the power not only on the bass kicks but on the guitar as well. This is something that I don't feel on any other more balanced earbuds, and that is something special in my book. As for the volume, it does get loud too, around 2 clicks louder than Sonic, so don't worry about it. And I should say it's on par with some of the best out there like the Soundpeats H1. You just get way more bass at the same volume level and less harsh trebles, so you can comfortably pump it all the way through and find that the highs aren't piercing at all. Again, I'm just impressed by how much bass they could pump out without making this twice or more the size. Moving on to the next song, here comes the limitation of the Hyphen 2. In Dynamite by BTS, I have to mention that the Soundpeats H1 blows the Hyphen 2 out of the water when it comes to soundstage and separation. So the way I describe it is, you hear the bass at the side while the vocals are front and center on the H1. But in Hyphen 2, everything is kind of happening in the center inside of your head, and honestly, all it takes is one listen and I infinitely prefer the H1 more than the Hyphen 2, especially when the bass isn't all that much weaker too. But with that said, just listening to the Hyphen 2 alone, I got immediately immersed with the powerful bass progression, and the kicks are so strong it punches anything above its form factor. So I just gotta say, people have different preferences, and if you like this kind of strong boosted bassy sound signature, then you're definitely in for a treat. Okay, I think I've pretty much explained how it sounds now, but let's take one more song to really nail it down with Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis. As I've always said, I usually can't bear listening to half of this song on bass-heavy earbuds because they'll sound super crowded with drowned-out vocals. But that is not the case with the Hyphen 2. Well, almost. The pre-chorus was that close in making me quit, but for the most part, you can rest assured that the vocals are clear enough. And the cymbals, the shakers, these high-frequency sounds play a supportive role at the backstage, and the star of the show will be none other than the lower mid to bass region. So bass guitars, drums, male vocals will sound very impactful. And again, if you don't want to go all out on something like a Tranya M10 or you have smaller ears, this is a good compromise. It's very well tuned and I think you will love it. Alright, so let's move on to the next part, which is the build quality and features. And man, I can already say there's so much attention to detail here that is usually unseen in earbuds below $100. First up, let's talk about the case. And if you haven't seen enough of me fanboying over its quality in the unboxing video, well, let me tell you, this is hands down the best case design I have ever held to date. The soft to touch material, the bold Hyphen branding here, the double tap feature to see the battery level, and this hinge. Oh my goodness, why I haven't seen any other earbuds with such nicely spring-loaded hinge here. And the basics are perfect, of course. You have USB-C wireless charging at the bottom and something not much thicker than a field case put on the side, which is one of the smallest, by the way. This is such a well-made case that I must say, thank you for giving some love to the case. Now onto the earbuds. Not only it is punching way above its size in terms of bass, but also it does similarly in terms of battery performance, which puts it on par with some of the bigger earbuds out there. And then there's a ton of clever stuff like the magnets that can hold the earbuds together, even though these are not very strong, so I won't advise you to carry it around like this. And then also the LED lights make some actual sense, so you know what it is doing, whether it's pairing to each other or looking for a phone, and then when it's paired, it stays off to not distract you on a dark room. And then there's the nice stuff, like the vent at the top here to reduce some of that sucked in ear feeling, though it's not that drastic of a difference, but at the very least it doesn't let any more outside noise in. And then all the holes here are covered with metal mesh, so they're gonna last you a long time to come. Now the only thing that I could nitpick is the glossy part, which is a complete fingerprint magnet, but honestly I forgot about it pretty much instantly, so it doesn't annoy me all that much unless I'm shooting some B-rolls for it, and so far I haven't seen any scratches, so that is good. Okay, let's talk about the fit now, and I think many will have a problem with it getting loose pretty quickly at first, but let me tell you how to get it done. Unlike other earbuds, the inner part here does not touch your ear. So you put the earbud in, try to secure the fit by moving the earbud interiorly or forward, and make the mic touch your cheek facing towards your mouth. It's pretty easy once you figure it out, so don't worry, and the fit is good enough for everything, including running or gym use. Unless you're opening your mouth wide or clenching your teeth super hard, this will get loose, but it is common with other earbuds as well. That could be less of an issue when you're using a foam tip, which by the way is included in 3 different sizes with every purchase. And what you will have in your final unit is the APNC foam inserts for these silicone tips, so you will have 9 kinds of ear tips to choose from, so make sure to get the best fit. And also the earbud is IP55, so no shower and washing, but it should survive some rain or sweats. Now let's talk about the controls, and this is hands down the best touch control scheme that are out there. As you can see right here, the main difference is the volume control that's now on touch and hold gesture. Now this is quite tricky to implement because it could be accidentally triggered, or it adds 2-step when you only want 1, but the Hyphen 2 nailed it here. There's just enough delay so you will always get to the volume you want, and there's no beeps whatsoever, but you'll notice the increase. And also if you hold it for longer, it'll add 2 clicks instead of 1 click volume, so you won't be holding for too long before you reach that volume you want. Now a quick mention here, Rolling Square told me that the touch area will only be on the upper glossy black part here, but in my unit it still detects touch on the rest of the circle here. That's maybe due to the pre-production nature, but in any case accidental touches are not a problem at all because I'll be holding on the stem or on the front part of the circle when I'm adjusting the earbud, which is far from the touch sensor area, which is right here. So all in all, touch sensor is very responsive. It plays and pauses the song the way I wanted it. It is a great execution and I love it. Finally, let's talk about battery life, and you can find all the details in my Twitter at TestedByKen. At 50% volume, the earbuds lasted around 8 to 9 hours, which is great considering that this is such a tiny earbud. And the charging time is even more impressive. These 3-pin connector allows the earbuds to get close to 6 hours of playtime with only 15 minutes of charge inside the case. And by the way, you've got 3 more charges with the case, so great stuff here. Now, a note before you see the latency test: even though I'm testing with AAC on an iPhone, you will see similar results if you use aptX on Android, because this uses an undisclosed Qualcomm chip that has no support for aptX TWS, which is quite a shame. I've made a video how aptX changes the game, I'll link it down in the pinned comment, but it does have a stronger claimed range of 30 meters instead of a usual 10 to 15 meters. Though in my testing, it still couldn't go through more than 2 brick walls, which is probably too much for these earbuds, but using this in a small 30 square meter apartment here, it pretty much covers the entire thing. So that's a no problem, and let's check out the latency and microphone test right now.
Should you buy a tablet or get a laptop instead? We'll get to my personal answer at the end, but to narrow the scope of this video, I'll be talking specifically about the iPad Air 4 and compare it to the new M1 MacBook Air. So not this, I bought this by myself, but I don't have the MacBook Air just yet, but pretty much know how great it is.
Alright, so welcome to the call test, everyone. Right now you're listening to the Hyphen 2, and what do you think about the sound quality? I think it should be good because it has that long stem just like the AirPods there. But we'll see how it performs with the crowd noise turned on right now. We are on an indoor setting with nothing going on. Not even the AC is on right now. So let's turn on the crowd noise, and this is it. So crowd noise playing off of my MacBook Pro 16 right now at 100% volume. So this should mimic what is happening in real life in a busy supermarket or a cafe, for example. And can you still hear me clearly? I'm still speaking at the same volume as I was before. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below how this performs, and let's get back to the video right now. So what do you think of the Hyphen 2? I've had a lot of fun testing it, and I especially love the attention to detail here. It may not have the best noise cancelling because it's just basically a tighter fit of your usual silicone tips, and unfortunately I couldn't test it out, but it definitely earns its place as one of the best designed and built earbuds yet. Now if you're interested, I'll put links in the description if you want to try it out. Don't forget to use the discount code TANAKAHYPHEN for a 40% off, so you can get the Indiegogo pricing in their official website, and you'll support the channel that way too. So thank you so much for your continued support. I'm Kenneth, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.